Hi, everyone. Welcome to yet another very special episode of Cricket Mehfil. My guest today has broken the internet, so to speak. She's on Pakistani Twitter, ESPN Cricket Info, who are not very popular with Pakistani fans right now because they keep posting a lot of stuff we're not happy about. Finally got happy with us by posting something good. So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about Eman before we get started. When Eman spends most of her time watching and tweeting about cricket in the Pakistan cricket team, outside of her full-time job, she likes to read, hangs out with her dog, and works in UX strategy and research, which is a mouthful. Eman, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you very much. You're trending on Twitter. The most important thing is, did Rizwan Bhai adopt you, and how do your parents feel about it?
No, he hasn't adopted me. I didn't expect him to. I didn't expect anyone to even see that poster or care about it. I thought maybe Ian Bishop would see it. The camera would point towards me. He'd make like a funny joke about the crowds being so, I don't know, boisterous or whatever. And that would be the end of it. My parents, my mom was with me. She was right next to me. She had a poster that said like Riz Babur supremacy, and that was on TV for a bit as well. So she's fine with it. I mean, I asked her
Yeah.
before taking the poster, "Are you cool with this?" My dad didn't know about it, but he laughed it off, and he like keeps sending me the news articles that are featuring it. So I think he's fine with it. I don't expect to be adopted anytime soon, but I mean, I wouldn't mind, like my poster said.
So, any specific reason behind that? We're always wondering why people go with certain posters, what the thinking is, or was it just something you thought would be fun and decided to do anyway?
Um, I am like I think in my friends group at the very least, I am a massive Rizwan fan. Like I just love him. Like I'm properly like obsessed with the way he plays and his mindset and how much confidence he gives the younger players, especially when he's on the field, and all of that. So I last time I went, we made our guy friends carry posters that said "Marry Me, Babar Azam." This was back in 2019, and that awful Sri Lankan tour. Where we lost every single match in Lahore, or almost every single. But yeah, anyway, so this time I thought I would do something similar, but I was like, I mean, "Marry Me, Rizwan" did not sound appropriate to the way I see Rizwan. You know, he's not like the heartthrob that Babar Azam is. I mean, I have a lot of respect for him, so I was like, I mean, what better than to ask him to adopt me, which I think is popular Twitter lingo, but I think the news, um, I mean, at least the public was like, what on earth is she asking him to do? But yeah, I just thought it'd be funny. Honestly, I just thought it'd be funny.
Well, it was funny, and I think you're right. I think it came across as being something that respects him, and it's our way of saying, this is how much we love you, how much we care about you. Obviously, we're all huge Rizwan fans. I totally relate to you on that. Just the way he, like you said, the way he plays, the way he behaves, the way he looks after the players. So, what was the feeling like, Iman, when you saw that right after your poster in the game? Not only are you trending, you're like breaking trending. You're dominating the whole place. What was that feeling like?
It was it was odd. I didn't expect it. Like, I mean, I thought maybe cricket Twitter would like have a field day with it. When I realized that like acquaintances and people that I hadn't talked to in years were like sending me the post and sending me news articles and be like, "Is this you?" And then I was like, "Oh wow, that's a lot of attention." But I mean, it was fine as long as you don't like think too deeply about it, or get into some of the weird comments that are coming in, and just appreciate the fact that a lot of people find it funny just the way I intended it to. I'm just like, thank you. Yes, I have a good sense of humor. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah. So yeah.
A lot of talk about the National Stadium, Karachi. A lot of people had also posted on Twitter about the fact that there were some issues going into the stadium, being there, and then of course, anytime someone in Pakistan writes about an issue, millions of people have to jump in and talk about other things also. So, what was your experience like within the crowd, and what was your personal experience? How has it been going to the games?
Yeah, I live quite close to National Stadium, so every time there's a series here, crowd or no crowd, they block all the roads and there's a lot of traffic. But I know that a lot of people have a problem with this, and then there is a bit of an issue with the way entrances work. But I went early-ish, not too early. Like I reached the stadium, around 35 minutes before the toss, which I think is a really good time to go because you get to see the practices, the players are on the field. If you scream their name, you can get their attention, which is what I did. So yeah, it was pretty smooth. They checked a few times for your ID card, for your vaccination card. They made you read out your ticket number again and again, which was a little bit difficult to do considering the fact that I was carrying my poster and everything else. But it was good because, I mean, I felt fine. I was like, yeah, security, go for it. But I understand that if there's thousands of people coming, as there were, especially when the match is about to start, the toss just happened and all of that. I think there should be maybe a little more efficient system so the crowds aren't blocked up. I do also know that there was a little bit of difficulty with getting tickets, which was a little bit frustrating. I mean, I didn't even check. I just automatically went to the TCS office because that's what we typically do. And TCS wasn't stocking them. And then I was like, wait, where do we get the tickets from? So I understand those complaints as well. And there was a lot of rush. Like, I mean, my stand, my enclosure, even if it was Fazal Mahmood, it was kind of empty for like, until 5 minutes before the match. And then people started rushing in. And then I saw pictures online and there were just crowds and crowds of people trying to get in early, which sucked, I mean, they should have been able to come pehle se. But yeah, I mean, I got lucky because like I said, I came early and my enclosure was a little dead. But that was good because I got the attention of a lot of players. If you scream, there was only one person screaming. So, they immediately saw and they waved. But that being said, it would have been nice to have lots of people screaming together. But yeah, it definitely, like, the tempo upped a lot when everyone else came in.
And what would you say, Eman, is a good way to improve the experience for fans at the National Stadium, Karachi? What can be done overall to engage more fans and also make their experience a better one?
Oh, man. Okay. The thing is, I like the idea of having fully vaccinated entry only because you could comfortably take off your mask and then cheer. It would have been really, really awkward if you're like, oh my God, am I going to get COVID? Because everyone else is vaccinated there. So I'm fine with that. But I feel like maybe a ticket booth, like a lot of people suggesting on Twitter, कि like National Stadium पे tickets ही लगा देते, because a lot of people were coming straight from. I saw a few people come from somewhere in interior Sindh, some people from Punjab as well. If they're coming, they're not going to stop by MNP and get the tickets and then come, right? They're going to come to National Stadium expecting कि like हाँ हम लोग 250 के लिए ticket ले लेंगे वहाँ पे. So yeah, I feel like that would have been a good idea. More publicity, maybe. Like there was no news about this. I get that we were caught up with the Bangladesh tour, but I mean, I feel like I knew a lot about the match and what was going on because I actively kept checking. Tickets went on sale quite late as well. I feel like they should have gotten sale earlier. I'm not trying to tell the PCB how to do their job, but I mean, if you're gonna hold a series after so long, after the year that we've had, barring the T20 World Cup, it's been a pretty difficult year for us in cricket. The bad luck that we had in England in the summer, the bad luck that we had in the West Indies with the weather, like literally plotting against us. And then what happened with New Zealand and England? I mean, the hype should have been real. I wouldn't blame the fans for this entirely, but I wouldn't blame the PCB for this entirely. I think, circumstances dictated they had to put an extra effort to kind of like get the fans there. But I think they should have done it. I think they should have done a lot more publicity. Maybe some ads like they did for New Zealand Walla Tour. That was hilarious. I think that would have been a great way to build hype.
Well, there you've heard it, guys. You need to, build up the hype, especially like Eman rightly pointed out, with all the disappointments that we've had in this last year with cricket coming to Pakistan. Eman, if we move away from that, talk about the PSL a little bit. There's a general perception amongst people that Karachi Kings have finally got the best squad. And I think a lot of Karachi fans would have enjoyed watching Romario Shepherd there because they would have thought, okay, this guy is not that good. And then he comes out and almost wins a game and they're like, okay, this guy is very good. This augurs well for the future. So how are you guys thinking about the squad and how are you thinking about the overall squad that Karachi have picked this year?
Oh man, I'm excited. Look, when there were a lot of rumors going around, there was like, I mean, when knew that Babar was coming back as captain, and there were some rumors that Imad was going on, and I know that a lot of people are skeptical about Imad, but I love his not his captaincy style necessarily, but I love his role in the team, and I feel like he's such a great asset. So him staying, Mohammad Amir staying, again, I know that's a controversial topic as well. I think that's pretty important for us, and the fact that we have Chris Jordan back, that's also exciting. I mean, Karachi is, I know that a lot of people discount us, and I know that it's fun to hate on Karachi Kings. But when you have Babar Azam as captain, I mean, that's something that not any team can, one up. And I'm really excited about that. I do think that we are a team to beat. I think that we have a lot to prove this time because we've gone with a little risky options, especially in our spin department. But it'll be fun. I think when you trust emerging players and we trust young ones to carry something, especially in a domestic league, it's always so exciting. And yes, I was not happy with Shepard in the T20 match, but like when I was thinking in the back of my mind, I was like, this isn't so bad for us. Like, I mean, it's gonna work out if he plays nearly as good as this in the PSL.
Yeah, that was something. I mean, as a Multan fan, I was a bit unsure about Odin Smith, and then he came on and had a really good game. And you're thinking, okay, and the
Mhm.
boys are performing, in the kind of conditions that they're going to be playing in Karachi and Lahore. A lot of exciting foreign players this year overall for Karachi. You were talking about the squad, and you were talking about, so who would you see? I mean, other than we obviously Babar, Amir, Imad, these guys have been performing consistently. Who would you look at and think this person, if they have a good tournament, can be a potential MVP for Karachi Kings?
Ooh. Okay. I know that a lot of people don't have a lot of faith in Chris Jordan because of recent league performances, but I have a lot of faith in him. I always get super excited knowing that Chris is there and knowing that he's going to play for us. I'm also like a little bit excited for Lewis Gregory and obviously Nubby. And I think our brand ambassador as well. I mean, Karachi has a lot of exciting, players. I know that Islamabad is trying to take the excitement factor right now because they've got all these big hitters and they're like, oh yeah, we're going in this recklessly. But I think if you want to look for a well-built team, you got to look towards Multan, and you also can't discount Karachi there, right? So I definitely am excited to see what Jordan does. I'm a big fan of him, like 100%. I'm super excited that he's back.
No, he's a brilliant player. He can bat, he can field, he can bowl, bowls the death overs. Very, very exciting player. So obviously, I think Chris Jordan is a really good pick for someone who could go on and do well. Iman, we saw first Wasim Khan and then now Ramiz Raja talk about the idea of a women's PSL. Now, there's nothing concrete about it, not even a roadmap at the moment. But considering if it was to go ahead, for you, how important will that be for not just our female players and the fans, but also the millions of girls across Pakistan who clearly have a love, knowledge, and the ability to work in cricket? How important do you think a women's PSL would be for them?
Man, I feel like the PSL is not okay. So what we need in women's cricket right now, in my opinion, is like major grassroots development, right? The kind of experience that we have in the squad isn't quite translating in their performances, and I wouldn't say that it's on them. It's not just because we don't get a lot of international exposure, they don't play with a lot of other teams. It's also because they jump really far. Like they'll be playing for the university teams and all, and or even like for a club, and then all of a sudden they're in the international at the international level. To have a PSL for women would be incredible. But the PSL is something that works for men because there's already so much solid structure available, right? So before we rush to the PSL, I would say, I mean, actually, I would love the PSL to happen for women, but like I would say, like we need a lot more development. I know that Kalo Cricket is doing brilliant work at the grassroots level, and just the excitement that Hadil Obaid even admitted that this was a bit unexpected when they first started out. They didn't expect so many women to sign up. They didn't expect so many women to care enough to like bring their families and play and all of that. So that kind of smaller level grassroots development for women and these smaller tournaments mean a lot. That being said, franchise cricket, a lot of the time the conversations are about profits, about sponsors, about leagues and who's going to buy them and all of that. So it's a complicated conversation to have. But it is exciting that Ramiz Raja brought it up. It is. I am definitely hoping that something happens, maybe in 2022, some sort of development towards it, more than just like slipping it into conversations, which I appreciate because it's more than what we've had in the past. And it's definitely a change. I mean, I would say in the last 5 or 6 years, we've seen women's cricket go from barely on the map to somewhere on the map. So I mean, I'm excited. I can't wait to see what happens. I
You want
don't
to take a
know.
moment to you want to take a moment to kick Lahore Qalandars while they're down? It's always fun, isn't it? You know,
Yeah,
it's the
right.
Lahore
Okay,
Qalandars Karachi rival.
I love the Lahore Qalandars. Okay, no, actually, I don't love them. I
See?
appreciate the Lahore Qalandars' fighting spirit. I enjoy watching them. They're, it's infuriating because they have some of the best players, some of my favorite players, some of the world's favorite players. Okay, and I'm just like, do better. Like, why aren't you doing better? So yeah, no, I think that a lot of the times conversation now, even Multan's definitely a big name in PSL. A lot of the conversations about Islamabad, it's about Multan, it's about Karachi, and Lahore is like that, the fiery fun factor. And I would really like people to discount them again, and I would want them to blow everyone out of the park. I would want that for them 100%. I think that would make for an excellent PSL 7. I'm not even kidding. I'd be very if they did that. That being said, I don't know if that's gonna happen. I mean, I don't wanna.
I have to be neutral here, but I think it gives away exactly how I want them to do. Iman, Arbab, thank you so much for taking the time out for us. Keep tweeting about cricket, keep being awesome, keep going to the games with more amazing posters. And we wish you all the best. We thank you for taking the time out for today. And we look forward to seeing your posters during the matches in the PSL.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Thank you. You too. Have a great day. Thank you.
Bye bye.